Today, Tyler Holgate is just as polite as he was on day one, but he has achieved his goal. And he now knows, has met every single person at the school, and has developed relationships with almost every single one. And the last time I met him at the school, he was doing an impersonation. And who's the impersonation again, Tyler?
Sly Stallone.
Oh, Sly Stallone. Can you do it for us, please?
How you doing?
But I'd like to say that the real winners of Tyler's goals are us. Because we would never have had the opportunity to get to know Tyler unless he had set his goals to be more social. So ladies and gentlemen, the over 21 valedictorian, Tyler Holgate.
Good morning. My fellow graduates and the new friends I have met over the last 10 months. This past school year at the Alliston Learning Center, we have certainly learned a lot, haven't we? Yes, I'm sure you would most certainly agree. Marnie taught us in math class that we are smarter than the calculator. Aaron taught us how to break down paragraphs so that we would find the most important information. Allie taught us the differences between what we need and what we want. Then Jen came along and taught us more about math. Then Julia once said to a student that she could read any writing because she's a teacher. Trust me, I could read any writing. I'm a teacher. Sandra taught us eye contact and said to us that we were good moms when we got an assignment right. And all this knowledge given to us will no doubt be a great value to us as we go forward in our lives. But I think that the most important thing that we have learned over the last 10 months and years for some of you is that we now have cherished memories to reflect on as we go forward. Over the next few minutes, I'd like to talk about what we've learned from the people we have to thank and the people we have to remember. I told you that the most important thing that we learned is we now have cherished memories to reflect on as we go forward. Let me give you a few examples of some of my most cherished memories, which would be very similar to yours. I'm assuming most of you have cherished memories. My good friend Ben Cleveland, who I met this past school year, who I've given the nickname Big Ben in honor of the clock tower in London, England. Hope you don't mind. Ben was always a big help to me and all of us. In the grade 11 English course, I had him help me out to perform a very memorable skit for our teacher, Aaron. It was a reenactment of a real sports interview that turned into a conflict, where the guest had actually flipped the table and attacked the offensive host. I played the host. So I had to fall backwards a bit as Ben was coming at me. It was a lot of fun. Ben was a big help with it. Thanks again, Ben. Erin had taught us that she absolutely loves high fives, so I thought of a Christmas present for her. On the last day before Christmas break, I snuck into the staff room and surprised her by holding up my hand, and the way she gave the high five was like no other, and we cheered. I'll always remember when Marnie yelled out to us, "Woo-hoo, power to ya!" As she threw her fist forward, I was like, wow. And I found it very inspirational. I think very few people have a personality like Claire. I noticed she always behaved like a kid in a candy store. It will always stay with my mind how she greeted me the first time I walked into the ALC. And on the first day of school, when she was greeting all the students walking in and said to me, "Hey Tyler, you made it just in time." Boy, I'm wondering if all the student coordinators are like this in all the learning centers. And by the way, Claire, Sandra and I have voted, and all the rest of us have voted. You are the best student coordinator in all the on the first day wasn't exactly the most comfy feeling. I was quite intimidated by Josephine. I'm still a little bit intimidated by Josephine. All the students would probably vote that Josephine would probably be the most strict in all teachers. She's a super fantastic teacher, wonderful human being, and a true family person as well. I'll never forget on the first day, one of my most funniest memories was when you were explaining to us about class attendance and what we were to do if we were ever sick. And you said to us that, you know, if you ever have something like a minor headache, take an aspirin. It's not a big deal. And then you wave your hand like that. It was one of the funniest. Now I thought of it all year long. You couldn't stop laughing. I will always remember the lovely smiles that lit up our hallways and classrooms. Who are responsible for this are most notably Denise, Jamie, Teresa, and her friend Kylie, Angela, both Alicias, there were two of them. Of course, from all the teachers, Jenna, Desiree, Katie, Melissa, the list goes on, and Lisa's smile. I wouldn't be able to say enough about Lisa Foster, how she befriended me during this year and gave lots of praise to me and the other classmates of ours. I found it very touching when she actually said to Cody Marshall that he was one of her most favorite people. And it truly meant a lot to me when she helped to organize and plan out the surprise bash with the other students for me the morning after I was awarded the Student Excellence in Education Award. I knew I definitely owed a thank you speech to the students, which I gave to them in honor of them. I want to thank you all again for preparing that for me, especially to you, Lisa. Candy, my goodness. Candy is amazing with her spunky and humorous personality. And I will say again, as I always did, I absolutely love the way you talk. When discussing and questioning about the assignments and all, you have brought a lot of joy to the ALC for sure. One moment that might take most of the cake was when Teresa and the rest of us were on one of our walks for our health class a few weeks back. As we were heading towards this building, the Gibson, walking down Paris Street, Teresa then excitedly yelled out, "Graduation, yay!" as she waved her arms like a cheerleader. It was quite a moment. It was quite a moment to conclude this year as we were approaching the end. Everyone I've met and now know from this past school year have all done something that will always be a cherished memory of mine. I'll be happy to take the memories with me, and I hope that you will do the same for yours. Next, I'd like to take a moment on behalf of myself and my fellow graduates to thank the people that have brought us here. Firstly, I'd like to thank my parents, Elaine and Peter. I'd like to thank you for starting to build a family of 4 kids, who I am one of, just right down the road from here in Rosemont, Ontario, where I first lived when I was brand new to the world. My mother, Elaine, was also a valedictorian of her school, so maybe we can get a family tradition of valedictorians going for future generations to come in our family. Maybe. We'll see what happens. I am so grateful to you both, and thank you for paving my way for me to be here. I'd love to thank my grandmother, who always taught her grandkids that education comes first for us. You have been the light of my journey for me ending up here. Thank you. I want to thank my granddad, a native of Manchester, England, for coming over here to build our family in Ontario. I'm certainly glad you did, and I am more than honored to represent you in our heritage. Congratulations and give great thanks to all the parents and grandparents, as well as to the partners and children of all my fellow students here today for doing a fantastic job on raising all these wonderful and super adults. I am very proud of all of you. For the teachers and staff of the Alston Learning Center, Claire, Cheryl, Joe, Marnie, Erin, and Ali, Jen, Julia, Sandra, Liam, Chris, Jason, and all the rest. Thank you for your dedication and love for all of us and giving us the year of our lives. Finally, I wanted to save the best for last. I would love to thank the creator of life and the creator of the universe. Thank you, God, so much for making this day for us to live in, enjoy, and contribute to you. So now we're graduates, and soon we'll be saying goodbye to one another. There will probably be hugs and tears. We'll do our best to stay in touch, but we'll be living our lives and doing our best. As a final thought going forward, and for all of us looking to the future, I'd like to leave you with a quote from a great world leader of history, who was Prime Minister of England, Winston Churchill. Success is never final. Failure is never fatal. It is courage that counts. Thank you all.
Born with the gift of gab. And because he was born with this gift of gab, he is the under 21 class valedictorian for this year.
How's it going, everybody? Okay. I'd like to thank you all, the students, teachers, staff, and all the family for coming today. Before I say anything, I'd like to thank Cheryl over there, because if it wasn't for her saying good morning every morning to me, I wouldn't even make it. So, thank you, Cheryl. I'm sure everyone is extremely happy this day is finally here. I know a lot of us wish it came sooner, but oh well, at least we did it, right? So, I'm extremely glad that my life led me to the Adult Learning Center here in Alliston. I've learned more here than at any other school I've attended before. You feel respected by the teachers, and it actually makes you want to come to school. That's the best part about it. More than anything else, we were taught to work together. Constant group projects made us closer as a class, more open to other people's opinions, and we learned that as a team, if you work together, you will succeed. I would like to say how incredible it is. I'll start this one over. I would like to say how incredible it is that this school really helps you for the future. The first aid and CPR, Dress for Success, boating license, Smart Serve, WMIS, personality dimensions, whatever I forgot, will all be a great help to our futures. I would like to wish the best of luck to each and every one of my classmates, and hope that you all go on to live bright, successful, and happy lives. Thank you once again to all the teachers and staff for all you've done. Congratulations, class of 2011, and I'm honored to be your valedictorian. Thank you.
Yeah, stop that. Oh God, why is it back up there?
Matthew and I have a conclusion to make. Matthew and I have become great pals this past year, and in our he has come up with a quote. I'd like to tell you this quote that he said, whereas we are so powered. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All of our conversations will always end with the term, oh yeah. Hey Matt, looking forward to exams this week, this Friday? Oh yeah. Hey, this weekend? Oh yeah. Everything would always conclude with, oh yeah. So on behalf of the Alliston Learning Center and all of us here, we want to thank you so much for giving us a super fantastic year. Matt and I would love to conclude this school year like this. Hey Matt, guess what?
What?
We're the valedictorians.
Nice. 3,
2, 1.